Guys, I forgot to turn the mic. Like I say, I haven't been in the studio for a week. I'm back at 4680Q Studios, your city, your voice, Paul K. Lemire, and I was just saying that on the radio part of it. I forgot to turn my mic on for the video guys. So here we are. We're back. And it's amazing what the weather has been like over the last week. It's been crazy. I've shoveled 2.5 feet of snow. We're getting another 1.5 feet, maybe foot or so on Sunday. So this is a nice little respite between snowfalls. That's all it is. But we're back. We're back at the studio for today anyway. I can't guarantee about Monday because it sounds like it's going to be crappy on Monday too. But we're back here for today. And it's good to be back in the studio. I like being downtown, but I got to say this: although the roads are good, this area here is a disaster. If you want to go downtown, and I'm not saying not to go downtown, I'm just saying I parked behind the building. It looks like the sidewalk plow came and did the sidewalk maybe 3 days ago or something. And then with the snow plow came down Park Street and filled it all in. Now, this is the city that wants to fine me if I don't shovel my sidewalk. They can't even keep their own sidewalks clear. And then these I want to say dildo, but these dildos, what they did is they put this fence for the meteor crater right to the edge of the sidewalk. Now the plow's got nowhere to put any snow. There is no sidewalk on the other side. So now you basically have no sidewalks on Chrysler Avenue. This is the city council that wants to fine me if I don't take care of my sidewalk, that wants to fine Jody Burnett, and has no problem with them filing reports on Carolyn Iannone and costing the city a bunch of money. They're hypocrites, all of them, believe me. Oh, man, oh, man. You know, I get into the studio and I get wound up. I'm a lot calmer in Video Sign Incorporated studios, believe me. I get wound up when I get in this studio because I'm right downtown to see what's going on. Drives me nuts. Anyway, finally Friday. I got to calm down. It's Friday. I got to calm down. If you want to send me a message about the show, right here, I got this phone here with me today. I usually don't do it at home because I don't have a live radio broadcast out of the Video Sign Incorporated studios. So you really can't text me during the show, but you can now because I'm here on the radio live. If you're listening, 289-994-7560. That's 289-994-7560. Feel free to send me a message if you're listening to the show live. And what's this now? Look at this. From Peter Dichter. He says, I understand you are nominated for the DEI Award for Niagara Falls, taking place at the Exchange April 14th, celebrating DEI and its wonder. I am the last guy that they're going to invite to that because I think it's a bunch of baloney. And I said to get rid of this DEI committee. DEI is dead and gone. We work in a meritocracy where you're rewarded for performance, not because of the color of your skin or your sexual persuasion or anything else. Yeah, they don't want to invite me to this thing. They don't want me attending it. They don't want me anywhere near it. You know, even though it only costs $5,000 for the DEI committee, that's what they're charging to the operations budget. Believe me, I wouldn't give them a dime. I wouldn't even have that. I'd disband that committee and the racism committee and most of the committees because they're useless. Hey, yeah, okay. I got to get that nomination. Is it in the mail? Oh, that is never going to happen. In a million years, that will never happen. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that it won't happen. Okay, yeah. Oh, had a good discussion on your page about the IC commissioner from Gary Wilkins. Well, okay, Gary. I didn't see it yet, but I see it. I guarantee you I'll jump in on that one. I guarantee you. See, I get messages all the time. You think it's just you're in the show? I get all kinds of messages all day. All day I get messages about what's going on in the city and everything. That's why you should listen to the show. I mean, you got to listen to the show if you want to know what's going on. I get messages from all over the place, from everybody. That's how I'm tuned into what's going on in the city. And you can send me a message at 289-994-7560 during the show. So the weather, whoa, 15 degrees out there right now. Woo! 5:30 this morning, it was 70. It's getting colder. It's supposed to go down to zero. Humidity high, around 88%. Wind blowing, barometer holding steady at 29.36. But that baby's going to be going down as this system moves in, and it's supposed to get us on Sunday. But you know what? Still time to get your car checked out. It's never too late to make the right move to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and let them take a look at your car. Get it ready for winter and make sure that everything's running tip top. I mean, you don't want to break down in this weather. 15 degrees out there. This weather's not made for man nor beast. So what you want to do is you want to get your car into Wild Bill's, get it checked out. Ken Hunter will put it on his equipment. Make sure it's running tip top. Make sure your defrosters are working. Make sure everything's working on your car, your brakes, so the suspension's good. You don't want to break down. That's the bottom line. Your battery's got to be up to snuff, and you don't want to be going out there and your car won't crank. That's not good. That's not good. But that takes preventative maintenance. Give them a call today. Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. WildBillsAuto.ca is the website. You can make appointments and go see the services they have to offer. Now, while you're at WildBillsAuto.ca, why not jump over to Paul Lemire 4973, my YouTube channel, and subscribe to the channel? Why? Because you'll get notifications. Why? Because we have an election coming up. Why? Because on Tuesday is the operations budget. You want to know what's going on in the city. You want to cast the vote that is going to do you the best. Get your best city council, not the best city council money can buy, the best city council is going to do the work for you. Well, you got to get out and vote. How do you know who to vote for? Well, you got to listen to these guys, and listening to the show helps you make a decision. So tune in, share it with your friends, hit the like button, leave comments. I mean, all this adds to the algorithm. It gets the show out there more. The more the merrier. We need people involved in this election. We've had too many years where nobody's been involved, and you get the city council you deserve. If you don't like what they're doing, if you don't like the way they're handling your money, you toss them out. But you got to know who to put in there, who's going to take care of your money. And that comes with knowing the personalities. If you don't watch council, it's great to tune in once every 3 weeks because I'll tell you about it. Okay, enough baloney. My second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. I'll get to that at the half hour. And let's get to a few viewer comments. At Penny Brookify. La 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 Lola. Yeah, okay, so la 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 Lola. I said it's a mixed up, muddled up, shook up world on my last show, and she said la 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 Lola. Yeah, I get it. That's funny. Good comment. You picked up on that. All right, you're listening, you're paying attention, and that's what we need, people paying attention. That's where it's at. Okay, at 881 Slick. Good afternoon, Paul. I just wanted to thank you for bringing up that fool Carrio's comments on Trump. For him to be so ignorant and while talking about maybe a business leaving to the USA is completely uncalled for. Shame on you and this whole council. Vince, I hope you don't run again. This city does not need your hate. And yeah, Gary, there's no need to make that statement. I agreed. I talked about it yesterday's show. Or was it yesterday? What's today? Yeah, Friday. Yesterday's show. I get screwed up with absolutely. And it had nothing to do with the planning matter or anything. But for some odd reason, these TDS people love to blame Trump for everything. And if it isn't Trump, it's climate change. That's the way it rolls. That's the way they roll. Okay. Okay. And he said, I agree, but he is a clown. There was a time years ago when Wayne Thompson told me a story at council. Vince Carrier told him I was bashing Wayne Thompson, which was a lie. I, for one, love Wayne Thompson and always will. Carrier is just a POS bully. Okay, and we'll get another comment. Hey, I read the comments as they come in. There you go. This is the opinions here. Let's be honest here. It was the bully Carrier who was bashing Jody from the start, even to bring up the 177,000 and was the mastermind behind the $4,000 bill they're sending to Jody Burnett. And what he's referring to in the 177,000 is that I think the Penguin stood up, or somebody stood up and said it cost 177,000 to send all the cases that have been handed in to the integrity commissioner last year. And of course, everybody jumped on this, blah, 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 blah. Listen, city council makes the rules. They're the ones who make the rules for integrity commissioner complaints. As a matter of fact, they put a $500 fee on it, where the ombudsman from Ontario said you should be charging nothing, but they defied what the ombudsman said. Jody goes by the rules. He has the right to submit a complaint. He is within the parameters of what city council rules they made. He's within the rules. So why are they complaining about it? Hey, maybe if you don't want any charges, you should act with more integrity. Have you ever thought about that? Just a thought out there. And also, I mean, come on. This $4,000 bill is a joke. Let's put it that way. It's a big joke, and they can send them all the bills they want. If I was Jody, I would never pay it in a million years. He filed one complaint against council. They accepted the $500 as one complaint. You can't go after the fact and say we want 4,000. You know, if you're going to charge anybody 4,000, charge the city clerk who took the complaint in the first place as it stood against council as a whole. So that's a bunch of baloney. And it's all true what Gary says. The main instigator seemed to be Carrier. And when it comes to exercising your rights under the rules that city council laid down for it, it seems that they don't care about that. They don't care about that. They just want to make up their own rules as they go and start billing people in that baloney. And I hope Jody Burnett takes it to the ombudsman and has an investigation, because that's a load of crap. Okay, that takes care of the viewer comments and a lot of other stuff while we were at it. But I digress. So we just finished 1 week of council, and we have another one to do. Yeah, I just did the council agenda review last week, and now we got another one to do. This coming Monday, as the big budget meeting arrives before council on Tuesday, I'll be going through the agenda on Monday, as usual. We'll see what your final tax rate is for 2026, and more important, which of the councilors has your best interests at heart and finds efficiencies to save you money. Now, I've already gone through this budget last week, so if you check out my show, I believe on Monday last Friday I went through it. A week ago, I went through it. So you can go to last Friday's show, look it up in YouTube, Paul Lemire 4973. You'll see the list of shows, and you can listen to that to get item by line, pages by the page. I do them in the operations budget. The operations budget is also listed in the council agenda, which is up right now on niagarafalls.ca. They have the notes to the budget and the budget. It's right in there. You can't miss it. And I went through it, like I said, I went through it already. So I found about $6 million in the capital budget in November, maybe more if some of the things can be done. And I found maybe $10 million in the operations budget that I think we could save money on. Now, I don't know if we're going to save $10 million, only because I don't have the full report. I don't know what they're doing. It's hard when you get 196 pages of a 400-page budget. budget book. That's all we get as the public. But I found 10 million. I found 6 million in the capital budget, while our city councilors found $25,000. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. That's hard to report that of, what was there? I don't know how many pages. I can't remember. 342 pages of a capital budget. 8 councilors found $25,000 of savings. Do you really think they tried? Do I really have to answer that question? It's a rhetorical question. It doesn't need an answer. If that's all you can find the savings, you didn't try. $25,000 is an insult to every taxpayer in this city. So we'll see what they do with the operations budget. I just have a feeling that nothing's going to change. Why do I have that feeling? I don't know. I have no idea. Why do I have that feeling all the time that nothing ever changes? The song remains the same. The thought that there isn't much we can do is absurd. Oh, they'll give you so many excuses. Oh, inflation, cost of living, contracts. We're contractually obligated. Blame it on Trump. Maybe Kerry will blame this on Trump too. I gotta blame it on Trump. It's all Trump's fault that we gotta raise your taxes 6% this year. We'll see if he blames this one on Trump. But the reality is, council has to have the fortitude to say no. That's their big problem. It's an election year. You might want to start saying no this year. But we haven't seen that happen. So let's face it, every department's going to ask for the world. And the more they have to operate on, the better for them. They can blow a lot of money. So it's up to our council to put a collar on them and say no. I mean, technology is supposed to help. We've spent millions upon millions upon millions on technology. It's supposed to help. It's supposed to streamline things. We're supposed to be able to do more with less. But that's not the way it's working with our city. I mean, when do we see these results on our tax bill? We don't. We never will. I'm telling you right now, we'll never see a dime. Millions spent every year on servicing this software, having to hire more people to run it because nobody knows how to run it. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's get into the agenda. So it's bologna sandwich time as council is given a brief presentation by the Innovation Hub. That's how it all starts out. How do they start it out? They started out getting me mad. That's how they start out the meeting. Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this, and I'm gonna have to order a pizza from Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue to keep me calm. Pizza calms me down. I mean, this Innovation Hub is the biggest joke on the city. But the joke's on the taxpayers because it costs us $700,000 a year every time they bring their road show to council. They're a make-work program for friends of the mayor. I'm convinced of it. I swear to God they are. It just seems that the people who work there are friends of the mayor. They ask for $700,000, won't even open their books so council can take a look at what they're spending the damn money on. Are they going to bring their books with them to council this year? Oh, we'll find out. I doubt it. The last 3 years, we haven't seen them. So why would they do it now? They can get away with it. Council will rubber stamp the $700,000 again after listening to the refuse that comes out of the south end of these northbound jackasses. Still not seeing the books. Listen, I have 2 letters that spell one word. N-O. No, you're not getting $700,000. We want to see your books for the last 3 years. We want to do an audit. If there's ever a deep dive audit needed, it's of this Innovation Hub. It's a joke. We're paying the tab. Council owes us $2.2 million for rubber stamping the money without even seeing their books. Can taxpayers send them a bill for $2.2 million like council decided to send Jody Burdett? Can anybody answer that question for me? Commenting? Anybody out there in video land that can comment on the video telling me if we can send city council a bill for $2.2 million for the money they've rubber stamped in the innovation hub without looking at their books or getting an explanation? Please help me. Please help me understand this. And if city council has any brains at all, they'll say no this time. And but they won't. They won't. I'm telling you, they'll all put their hands up in unison. Oh, the innovation hub is the greatest thing ever. Okay, well, what are they spending the money? Oh, we don't know. They come in and tell us they're doing all this great stuff, but we don't know. But we're going to give them the money anyway. Nod, nod, wink, wink. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, man, I wish we could elect people that knew how to say no. And oh, no. 2-letter word. So easy. 4.2. Boards and commissions, fee for service and honorariums. I'll go through this on the weekend and report back on Monday's show when we do the city council agenda review. 5.1, the granddaddy, the finance proposed 2026 tax levy supported budget. 81 pages of information, 996 pages of the actual budget and how they're doling out the money. I've already gone through it, talked about it a week ago, but we're talking more about it on Monday. So if you want to know more about that, go to niagarafalls.ca, look at it for yourself, go through the 196 pages. And if you don't feel like doing that, and I don't blame you because it takes hours and hours and hours, just go to my show last Friday, click it on, and in an hour you'll get the highlights. 5.2, the squirrel. Tiffany Clark gives us a presentation and makes a case for her 6% increase. Well, it's the staff's budget, really. We know it is. It's called the mayor's budget, but let's call it what it is, the staff's budget. Where would the mayor get the expertise and time to create a $250 million budget? You don't. Come on. He's known for video and photo ops, not accounting and budgeting. I don't know what his expertise in numbers are, but believe me, he doesn't do it. Bologna sandwiches for everyone when the squirrel starts her presentation. I love when they use the it's an inflationary budget. Baloney. Inflation's running at just over 2%, and they're raising it 6%. Shouldn't it be 2.4% if it's an inflationary budget? Listen, these guys, they fabricate stuff and use creative accounting all the time. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it at all. This could be zero, this budget this year. Believe me. It could easily be zero. I've proved it, and nobody's said that I'm full of it. I wish somebody would say I'm full of it, because then I'd say, well, geez, I was wrong. They're right. But man, there's a lot of savings there. I know John Ringo Beam said, I'll find $30 million. And you know what? I don't doubt that he could. Item 5.3, well. Point 3, new staffing requests, and point 4, a capital budget amendment of $2.02,038,500. Hold it now. They just passed the capital budget a month ago. The ink isn't even dry on it. And now they're chopping $2.1 million almost onto it. They're going to add to it already? I mean, if we approve a capital budget with a certain increase for taxpayers, you'd think that that's what they need to operate. That's why they're raising our taxes. They need more money. So right after they okay it, approve it, they come back and they find another $2 million, $2.1 million, no problem. Where does it come from? I don't know. Out of nowhere. Yep. Where are they getting the money? Who knows? I don't know. They didn't have it a month ago. Now all of a sudden they have it. We'll talk about it on Monday more, but read the attached 24-page report. For number 7, you'll find that interesting, and we'll delve more into that on Monday. But item 5.3, look, there's about 7 items in there. What you want to look at is 3, 4, and 7. You can look at the other ones too, but they're the ones you want to look at. That's the ones I'll be talking about on Monday. Monday's show will go more into it on Monday. Thank you very much. I mean, these guys are a never-ending source of information for me. Item 6.1, well, you got to have to read this report on surveys. And I'll be skewering the survey results on Monday, believe me. It uncovers fabrications by council and the mayor when speaking about certain expenditures. I'll outline them on Monday's show. The whole survey gives us what the residents want, allegedly. And council is not paying attention to any of it. So why have it? Don't you remember? Here's the one I really know. I'll talk more about this, but I remember in answer to my yelling about the NST trail that we don't need, $17 million just blown, and Councilor Peter Angelo, and the mayor getting up and defending it. This is what people in the city want. They want this trail. They sent me letters thanking me for building this trail. Go into item number 7 and see what the survey says about recreational parks and trails. Oh, Cotton a Dream. Cotton a Dream. This is basically the whole agenda. That's about all there is to the agenda. It's mostly concerning the budget this time around. Shortened pages, but hopefully long on discussion, right? Because we want these councilors to get up and try to save us money somewhere. Hopefully they're discussing these expenditures. Just tune in Monday. I'm going to go through it. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you people. I mean, we look at city council and we see the way they operate. It's a joke. It's a joke. Unfortunately, the joke is on us because when they are doing things, we pick up the tab. So as much as they're a joke, that joke is on us. And like I said, they want to fine us for not shoveling our sidewalks. Come on downtown. Go down Park Street and walk on the road. You don't get hit by a car. Walk on the road. Because that's where you got to walk. I've seen 30 people walking up and down on the road because the sidewalks are filled in by the snow plows. And nobody's been sent back to clean them up. You wonder why I get frustrated and I'm a mental case. Now you know why. Okay, well, Niagara Regional Police are not wasting their $237 million they are requesting. They just spent $300,000 on a remote-controlled submarine device. What, in case Canada, U.S. invades? In case Trump invades? Maybe you blame that on Trump, too. And, of course, tens of thousands on training, launching, and monitoring it when they use it. But don't worry. Don't worry. Board member and Port Colborne Mayor Bill Steele was ecstatic about this, saying it was $100,000 under budget. So they spent $300,000, $100,000 under budget. He's all happy about it. He's all happy about that. Like this something great happened. They spent $237 million. And something great happened. They saved $100,000 on this a remote-controlled submarine device. Do you think they'll take that $100,000 off the budget? They still haven't set the budget yet for the Niagara Regional Police or for the region because they're arguing about the Niagara Regional Police and they're arguing about a 7.8% increase or something when they capped it at 3.5. Bob Gale, who's the new chair, wants to go through the regional budget. He wants to see if there's any more savings. Regional Council said to the police, we want you to cut $2.7 million. They sent their budget back. You know what the police did? The police board, They said, we're not cutting nothing. And as a matter of fact, you want to send it back, you don't approve it, we're going to arbitration. And when you go to arbitration, anything can happen. They could ask for more. They could ask for more than 237 million or whatever the hell it is now. I can't even. They changed it a couple times. But he's all happy. They saved $100,000. So are they going to take it off the bill? Take it off the revenue side or the expense side to lessen our burden? Or are they just going to blow it somewhere else? I'll let you decide what they're going to do. But I can guarantee you, we're not going to see it. So that comes up February 5th, that budget. I'm still trying to get Al in here from Property Taxpayers Alliance. He should be in. We'll see what happens. So the final meeting should be February 5th to settle the regional budget. And of course, we'll see if the police are going to go to arbitration or not, or regional council is just going to say, hey, give them the money. We don't want to go to arbitration or anything, right? So we'll see what comes out of that. February 5th. Anyway, I got to get to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And I keep saying, when I watch City Council, I got to have a pizza right there, Pete's Pizza, because it calms me down. Why is it so good? Why is pizza so good? Well, because it's consistent. It's got to be consistent. And when you use the Mancini family recipe for the sauce and the crust, when you use a beautiful blend of mozzarella and brick cheese, and when you have people who know how to put it on the crust in the right ratio so you get the flavor of the cheese and sauce, you got a winner. It happens every time. It's consistent. Now, you just throw on your fresh toppings. Please, how can you go wrong? How can you go wrong? Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue knows how to do it. They have a full menu: chicken wings, panzerotti, steak and cheese poutine, regular poutine, chicken parm sandwiches. They got everything. You got everything. You're not going to miss out. And they're open till 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday for your convenience. Midnight during the week. They've opened a new location on Thoroldstone Road at Kaler Road for the people in the northwest part of the city. And according to my buddy Tony Nero, it's the same goodness as the one on Victoria Avenue. So that's good to hear. Pete's Pizza, Victoria Avenue, 905-374-2222 to get your fresh pizza today. You can't go wrong. You know you want a pizza. It's Friday. Friday is pizza night. Get your pizza. Okay, thank you for supporting our sponsors. We really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning into the show. We really appreciate that too, and we want to support small business in Niagara Falls. Do your best to do that. Okay, so get this. We are experiencing weather that could freeze the balls off a brass monkey. But you know what? The weather people are saying 2026 could be the hottest year ever recorded. Now, we're not going to see that in the next few weeks, I don't think. But they're saying 2026 is going to be a hot one. If that doesn't warm you up a little bit right now, I don't know what will. The government released its annual global mean temperature forecast on January 19th, and they say it's expected to get hot across the country. Why? Because of the El Nino effect. Currently, we are under the effect of El Nino, the opposite of El Nino, which brings cooler than normal temperatures, and we're seeing that right now. But temperatures to the northern half of North America, that's us. Well, it's going to flop to El Nino by the summer. And that means hot, hot, hot. And if it sticks around to the end of 2026-27, it's going to bring a much milder winter. I can dig it. I can dig that. How much can we depend on this forecast? Well, we have to remember these guys can't predict the weather tomorrow. So take it from there. But if that's the case and it happens, I will not complain. I do not mind that hot weather wearing shorts and t-shirts and enjoying the summer. It's not that long, and we have to enjoy it while it's here. So it's appalling to me how crime is punished in Canada. A teen convicted of savagely stomping a man to death in St. Catharines when he was 16 is back on the streets. Excuse me, I'm back in the studio. This is what happens. He's back on the streets. Stomped the guy to death. Back on the streets. He's 19 now. He was 16 at the time he murdered the guy. They murdered the guy. And he received an initial 7-year sentence. Pretty lame for murder. In 2024 is now under community supervision. But that means we have to look out for him? I mean, he could be dangerous considering he was charged with second-degree murder, wouldn't you say? He and another man attacked a man they did not know and repeatedly stomped on this helpless man, laying on the sidewalk, and returned several times after fleeing to continue the assault, leaving him severely injured. He had to be sent out of town for emergency brain surgery because of the stomping. Never regained consciousness. 2 months later, his family pulled his life support, and he died. No motive for the attack. A senseless murder for the fun of it, I guess. These two kids, 16 years old. Now the purpose back on the street. Unimaginable, but true. And the people wonder why crime is epidemic and the police need ever-increasing funds to operate. Well, there you go. This is the reason. And of course, this is only one case of thousands of criminals being let back on the streets, let go by the courts, not deported, whatever. They're roaming the streets, mugging, killing, robbing, shooting each other and innocent people. We live in a sick world controlled by the bleeding heart liberals. Enough said. Another case there. I thought I'd just tell you about that one. It's a beauty, and I don't know what we have to do to convince these authorities that we need tougher laws. We need We need to get rid of cashless bail. We need to get rid of a lot of stuff. These weak judges, these left-wing judges. It's never going to end. It's never going to end. Okay. Over to the Middle East, where the USS Abraham Lincoln has moved into position in the Gulf of Oman and is ready to launch an assault on Iran to settle the score once and for all. The USS Theodore Roosevelt carrier strike group is positioned in the Mediterranean and was in the South China Sea. For support, the U.S. is ready to go. F-15s, F-18s, KC-135 super tankers are in the area ready to go, and who knows what the B-2 bombers are up to at this point. Sometimes they don't fly out of that region. Sometimes they fly out of Diego Garcia. Sometimes they fly out of Whitman Air Force Base in, I want to say Kansas, but somewhere in the Midwest. The Lincoln itself carries over 70 aircraft, including F-35s, F-18s, and E-3Ds, Hawkeyes, and Growlers, E-18G Growlers, for electronic warfare and suppression, along with Tomahawk cruise missiles, Sea Sparrow missiles, Phalanx CIWS armaments. It's escorted by destroyers equipped for long-range precision strikes. It's a wrecking crew in its own right, and there's two of them sitting there. The Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, is in the Gulf of Oman, and the USS Theodore Roosevelt is in the Mediterranean for support. I mean, these are traveling wrecking crews. They could take out anybody. And of course, Reza Pahlavi, who will probably take over once the terrorists are ousted, says that the Ayatollah Khomeini is an anti-Iranian criminal who neither has honor or humanity. Your hands are stained with the bloods of tens of thousands of Iranians, he told them. And this came after the IRGC was accused of using toxic chemicals on their people, on protesters. It said that 12,000 Iranians have been killed during the ongoing street protests under order of the supreme leader. The U.S. attack could take place as early as this weekend. So if you're watching the news, you may see all of a sudden a Venezuelan type of attack, although the Venezuelan attack went pretty well. I mean, they sent 20 or 24 special ops in. They had this weapon that I don't think Carnage has heard of, because they let go of this weapon. It's some kind of ultrasonic weapon, and all these guards fell out to the ground. 200 of them fell to the ground, bleeding from the nose and ears. Don't know what hit them. They still don't know what it is. But it disabled them. The 20 to 24 special ops went in and just grabbed Maduro right from the presidential palace. No problem. He had all his guards around the ground. Carnage thinks he's going to wage war with the U.S. Oh, what a whack job. So it could happen this weekend, that attack. Speaking of Venezuela, the first of the seized tankers has been sold, and the oil was sold. The oil in it was sold, not the tanker. And the money's being doled out to Venezuelan citizens. How nice is that? The U.S. has now seized 7 tankers. All oil will be sold on the world markets, with Venezuelan oil production being ramped up as we speak. The interim Venezuelan president, Delcy Rodriguez, acknowledged that her country has received $300 million from recent oil sales, and she said that she wanted to reform the country's hydrocarbon law to allow more foreign investment in the future. And if you remember way back when this all first started, the oil companies built the refineries and did the oil exploration. But when Chavez, the socialist, took over, they nationalized everything. So they just took it from the Americans. Now they went to a world court. And the world court said, you owe the American companies billions of dollars. But Chavez and this gang of cutthroats, they never paid it, ever. So now Trump's looking to get them their money back by getting them in there, developing the oil refineries and the oil wells, drilling, and getting their money back from the oil sales. Chevron stayed there. I believe Chevron's still there. They made a deal with the Chavez government, and they're still there. But Exxon and Comoco, I think so. They got thrown out. Well, they didn't get thrown out. They got their business got nationalized, and they had nothing to say about it. They had to leave. So oil companies from around the world can invest. A good sign for the people of Venezuela. On a side note, Trump is looking for a regime change in Venezuela, and he's also looking for a regime change in Iran. That's why he's doing what he's doing. And he said that Cuba is next in line for regime change. So he's not fooling around. He wants Cuba to have a regime change by the end of 2026. And nothing could be better for the Cuban people. Believe me, they're hurting right now. So what the U.S. is searching for now is Cuban government insiders who can help cut a deal to push out the communist regime. Trump doesn't have a concrete plan in place to oust the communists at this point, but one source of leverage will be Venezuelan oil. They won't be getting any of it in Cuba. And no money is going to be given to Cuba from Venezuela. That's all. That's all been cut off. And of course, Cuba was supplying all the security services for Maduro. He didn't trust his fellow Venezuelans to protect them, so he got the people in from Cuba. Now, Cuba's economy is in danger of collapse as they deal with chronic shortages of basic goods and medicines while suffering from power outages. Cuba's a big mess right now. And I know people go down there and they're saying whatever, but it's a big mess. It's a big mess. They run out of stuff. The power goes out. It's a pretty big disaster down there right now. And it's not going to get any better, I don't think. You cut off their money, you cut off their oil, what do they got left? And the sad part is that 80 miles away from Havana sits the United States of America, Key West, and everything their people need to lead a good life. It's all there for them. It's their leaders. So Cuba's rulers are incompetent Marxists who have destroyed their country and now face a major setback with the Maduro regime. That is gone. They were supporting them and that propped them up for years. Their best bet is to make a deal with the U.S. before it's too late. And I hope they do. I don't know if you've ever been to Cuba. I've been there several times. And the people are just wonderful. They're very, very good people. They've had it bad for a long time. They don't have anything. They don't own anything. They're not allowed to own anything. I have a buddy down there, and his wife had cancer, and he had to take a 6-hour bus ride into Havana to get her treated. I mean, they really don't. I've been to Morona. It's something else. And as sad as it seems, they have some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. And it was a thriving place at one time. Once the New Year's Revolution took place, and the revolutionaries took over and went with Russia rather than the U.S., it's been toughing it out for a lot of years, the people there. Maybe now it's time for a regime change and to get people back on track. So the WEF meeting in Davos is over, of course, and Trump giving the world the dressing down. It was a beautiful thing to listen to his speech. Probably the greatest speech the WEF has ever seen, definitely from an American president. Of course, Canadians are touting Carnage's speech as great, even though it was a word salad written by his handlers. And really said nothing, but he did bash the U.S. as usual, not directly, but in a sneaky way. He don't have the balls to do it directly. Trump made a deal for Greenland, a deal that makes everyone happy except Carney, as he continues to say Canada will send troops to fight the U.S. if they try and annex Greenland. Well, it's basically happened, so, get your troops out, Carney. Line them up. Watch them drop fast. I mean, Carnage, he's insane. He's insane. Canadians love him to the point, though, that he said he might call a spring election, a snap election, because he thinks he can win a majority this time. Now, I can't imagine how Canadians would vote for this guy, but you know what? They will. They will, and they'll give him a majority. Unbelievable as it may seem, they will do that. Now, Trump is sick of his rhetoric, his nonsense. It has given him and Canada the heave-ho out of the newly formed Board of Peace. That's right. He's putting together a Board of Peace with different nations to bring peace to the world. Canada was part of it, but because of Carnage, he's thrown them out. He's revoked their membership, and he pulled their invitation. Said he don't want them in there. Canadians wonder why. Well, when you have a PM that totally speaks out against the U.S. and Trump, won't come with a good trade deal for his country because he's got TDS and his elbows up baloney, and basically has given Canada to a communist country, China. I mean, what do Canadians expect from Trump? But they love Carnage. They love him, as he totally destroys Canada. Yeah. They love him. And really, at the end of the day, Canada's really become irrelevant in world affairs. They seriously have. A non-entity, no say. Trudeau guaranteed that. Carnage is carrying on his fine tradition of being a nothing country. It was a joke, Trudeau. What was he doing at Davos? Why was he even there with Katy Perry? This country's screwed. Trump also warned carnage that Canada lives because of the U.S. And he speaks the truth. He called Carney ungrateful at the meeting. As Carney continues his trip around the world making deal with communists in third world countries and supporting terrorists like the Palestinians, oddly enough, the one country he doesn't want to make a deal with is the country with the biggest economy, most power, and the one that defends Canada and has defended them since the 50s. A country that shares a 5,525-mile border with Canada. Imagine the stupidity of that magnitude running Canada. How long is it going to be before Trump has totally had it with Canada and their communist leanings and their insulting elbows up rhetoric? He considers Canada a threat to the U.S. Trump's going to consider Canada a threat to the U.S. eventually. I think it's already happening, to be honest, if you listen to his words. He has nothing good to say about Canada. I wonder why. And, I look at it and I go, well, hey, if they all hate him, he must be doing good. That's the way I look at it. If all those left-wing radical people, the Obamas and all these other Clintons and all them, if they all hate him, he's probably doing the right thing for the American people. The world has never seen anything like Donald Trump. And only huge egos, will not admit what he has accomplished over the last year. It's amazing. In his first term, he's accomplished more than most of these bozos have accomplished in 4 years, maybe 8 years if it comes to Obama. We're really lucky to live in a time when we can witness what history will call the greatest president ever. The sad part is Canada, the inferior neighbor, the inferiority complex that they have, is not smart enough to be a part of history. Yeah. All the while, the left-wing radicals and media are hating on Trump. And you even see it in our council meeting. You just know he's doing the right thing. If Canadians would work with him instead of against him, stop blaming him for everything bad in Canada. I mean, we have our own political leaders that made it bad for us. We don't need to blame Trump. What our city councilor called the kook down south, you wonder why Trump is not doing anything for Canada, doesn't even want to deal with them. I mean, if we could work with him and be part of the MAGA movement, we'd be much better off. Unfortunately, Canadians are too egocentric, self-absorbed to take advantage of his offer to be part and parcel of this great United States revitalization. Think about it. He never offered anybody else that deal. He never offered Mexico to be part of the United States. He never offered anyone else to be part of the United States. Not even Venezuela. He offered them regime change. You'd like to see that. He hasn't offered them anything to do with the United States or the economy. Oh, yeah, he wants Greenland only for strategic reasons. That's why he wants it, to protect North America, which includes Canada, to build the Golden Dome around North America. So if any of these other countries, Russia or China, get any ideas, we can take care of it. He offered Canada to be a partner, to be part and parcel of the Make America Great Again. And we've spit in his face and insult him and call him the Southern psycho, an orange man bad, and a kook and a jerk and an idiot and a pervert and a child molester and now these other stuff these people say, these whack jobs. I mean, we're really a sad group of people when you think about it, because our country's going down. We're on the decline with nobody in the government that can stop it. So what are they doing? Because they hate Trump, they're teaming up with communist countries. China, who couldn't care less about Canada, he would take over Canada in a heartbeat. But you know why he don't? I should be pointing that way, because that's where the United States is, right there, not even a mile away. Our closest neighbors. I mean, who's going to stop the total collapse was what was once a proud, strong, and free nation called Canada? Not our leaders. Not our leaders, that's for sure. And the people keep voting them in, so what do you want me to do? I'm just telling you. And that's it for me today. I'm done. I'm done. I got a headache from a lot of this stuff, It's wacky. All I can tell you is to have a great weekend. We're supposed to get a foot of snow on Sunday. I probably won't be in the studio on Monday if it does happen. For now, it's nice and sunny out. Tomorrow's supposed to be a nice day. Get everything you need done in the next 2 days because you'll be battening up down the hatches for a few days. You'll probably see me at the studios of Video Sign Incorporated on Monday, but I will be there. I will do a video and I will talk about the City Council agenda. That's coming up. And then Tuesday, we'll go into to any changes to the agenda and more about the budget before the meeting happens, usually between 4 and 5 o'clock. I don't see it being a really long meeting because there's not a lot on the agenda, but there should be a lot of discussion. We're hoping that there's a lot of discussion from councilors trying to save us money, questioning what staff has handed over and the mayor has delivered. Other than that, God bless you all. Be safe on the weekend. Get your shovels all waxed up and ready to go because you're going to need them. Snow blowers running, make sure they're running. God bless you all. Support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. I will be back on Monday in some form, either by video or live on 4680q.com. That's where we are in the studio today. Your city, your voice, Paul K. Lemire. Look for my YouTube channel, Paul Lemire, 4973. We'll check for any last messages, no messages. So I'm out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be safe out there. And like I say, get ready for Sunday. It could be Snowmageddon. Ciao, ciao. We will talk to you later.